Good morning, and hey now, PASW staff, clients, and friends joining us. Welcome to Monday's class. Monday is, of course, when we do our film scoring challenge, if we want to call it that, film scoring game. If you haven't seen one of these classes, that's okay. This is a perfect time to start participating. It's when we look at a scene and we talk about it, and then I post the scene on YouTube after this class, and then you come up with your own film score. So it's plain film, and it can be any song from YouTube or Spotify, anything you want to give to me. I'll embed it, and we'll talk about your choices. There's no right or wrong answer. This is a very fun, creative exercise for our minds. So last week we looked at the very iconic first blockbuster film, Jaws, in 1975. And that was you guys came up with some great stuff. And now we're going to move just actually a year ahead, 1976, and look at probably one of the most famous boxing movies of all time, and the first sports film to win an Academy Award, Rocky. Rocky's a very, it's timeless in the sense of the overall theme is an underdog, right? He's an underdog, and it's this theme of overcoming these physical and psychological obstacles. And I think that's probably, there's a lot of heart in the movie, and that's probably what the producers were interested in, because nobody had ever heard of Sylvester Stallone before this movie, and I think he was really poor and barely making ends meet while he was writing the script. Well, I mean, supposedly he wrote the script in 3.5 days. It went through several rewrites, but we'll talk a little bit about just the history of it, and then the assignment of you guys that we're going to be looking at the famous staircase scene. So, okay, here's Rocky. Let's get into it. So the story of Rocky is a little bit interesting. First off, directed by John G. Avildsen and shot in 28 days on a budget of $1 million in Philadelphia and Los Angeles. And there's a few things. So it's one of the first, I think the third film in history to use a Steadicam. And we looked at what the Steadicam is, where you can literally where the cameraman, the cinematographer, can walk with the camera on him, and it's still a smooth shot. And we looked at that, the class of The Beauty of the Master Shot. I think part 1 and part 2, we did a class on how we watched that. You can follow somebody and the camera's smooth. And again, it's not something that the general audience would notice, but then when you think of how hard it is to accomplish the shot and how effective it is by bringing you into the atmosphere, it's really cool to see that. So that's Garrett Brown's invention, and Rocky was one of the first movies to utilize the Steadicam, and in particular in the scene we're going to be watching with the famous stair scene. So Rocky won 3 Academy Awards in the year 1977. So Best Picture, Best Director, Best Film Editing. And United Artists liked the story, and they offered him $340,000 to sell them the rights to his screenplay, which is a lot of money. It's a lot of money today, but he was really on the verge of, having nothing, literally, being pretty poor. But he wouldn't sell it to him unless he could star in it, and so they said, okay, that's fine, but your budget's now gonna be $1 million budget as opposed to multi-million-dollar budget, and we're gonna give you $20,000 for the script, and you can. And a SAG minimum. But what he was smart about it is that he did including the director and maybe some other people, they took a profit. They had a back-end deal. So if the movie made money, then they would make money, and if they didn't, then they wouldn't. So that was a very smart thing Stallone did. So the scene we're going to be looking at, one of the most famous scenes, he's tried to go up the stairs before, and this is the 72 stone step stairs leading up to this is the entrance of the Philadelphia Art Museum. and he's done this a few times and he can't do it, and this time he finally does make it all the way up to the top. And this is the famous score by Bill Conti. Everyone knows the score, everyone knows the scene, and we're going to see if we can come up with something better or different. It's always, it's hard to come up with something better than that, but different, and just as effective. So let's just first look at the scene with the music, so we're all on the same page. It's a really great scene. It's encouraging and full of momentum. The score is so great, right? Bill Conti's score. I think we, but if we take everything away, let's see how the scene looks now. It's a little awkward, right? It could be viewed in a scary way, in a serial killer way. I don't know. It still could be epic, though. I mean, this is our assignment. This is what we're gonna be looking at. There's several ways we can go. It's up to you. Whatever you think is your impulse, or your intuition, rather. We'll have fun with this, and of course I'm going to play along because I'm your colleague and friend, and I don't know. It's interesting to think about. So okay, so I'm going to post this scene after this class, and think about it, and send it to me, email it to me, or you can post a link below of the music, and I'll embed it, and then we'll see what we come up with on Friday's results. Okay, have a great rest of the day, and see you guys tomorrow.